Welcome to Get Scared. It's our fun little spooky treehouse pal around, where each week we talk about something spooky, something scary, or sometimes nothing like that at all.
Yes.
And guess what? It's time.
Get scared.
To get scared.
Why did you forget about that?
What was a pregnant pause for? That was a very pregnant pause.
I wanted people to bask in it, you know.
Yeah,
I wanted them to think maybe something happened to us.
Oh.
You know,
the listeners.
I wanted to start off by getting them scared.
Very
That scared me in the process.
Scared
The
you.
anticipation.
Scared them all.
Scared the producer.
Scared them all, of course. Who do we got here? We've got me, Shane Madej. We've got over there. Who's that now?
Stephen Lim.
We got
Papa
Matt.
to be.
I'm looking around the room. Okay.
Okay.
I'm seeing me. I'm seeing Steven.
It's locking Shane.
I'm seeing, of course, Maddie Rial on the ones and twos.
Oh.
And I'm saying, hang on a sec. Where's Ryan Bergara?
Where's the burgoos?
What's going on? Wait a minute.
Oh.
I'm over here.
Oh.
Is that Ryan Bergara or Emperor Palpatine? I can't see. Ryan, how are you? Ryan's calling us from bed. He's like, he's doing a John Lennon thing right now.
I am sick.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, but in this particular case, the physical variety.
You look like you're about to enter the boxing ring.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
This is my robe that I wear every now and then, but especially when I'm sick. It's kind of one of those 24-hour head colds. But because Steven's about to be a father,
Appreciate that.
I figured I might as well just play it safe.
That could happen
and rest up
during
and then
this
completely
episode.
recover.
It really could.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I need to make sure my phone.
Yeah. Put your
please.
phone
He's on
Round
ringer.
and round.
Because that would be exciting.
This is the home stretch here, or it's not even the home stretch. It's home,
It's home for a baby.
baby.
Basically, Philip Phillips over there.
By the way, welcome to all of our new listeners. We had
Yes.
a few episodes that kind of broke out of the YouTube algorithm of sorts. So we've gotten a few new subscribers here and want to say welcome. Thanks for joining us.
We appreciate you being here.
I saw some comments that are like, the boys are ghost hunting again? Because they saw that the Unsolved title and they were like, oh my gosh, they're back.
Yeah, that just seems to be a continual issue with us, where that people are still unaware that we are ghost hunting over here at Watcher. But I'm glad they know now.
Yeah.
You know, or at least the folks that have migrated over from the past video.
Well, speaking of ghost hunting, I'll say right now before we get to the meat of the show, and today we're going to be talking about ghost pets, if I'm not mistaken.
It's true.
Huh. So animals that turn into ghosts? Is that a thing? Is it
That's a werewolf. Sorry.
Aren't ghosts like the spiritual being? Does that mean that animals have souls?
Well, we're not getting into it
okay,
yet.
okay.
We're not getting into it yet.
But
You
these
gotta-
are-
you got to save
These
all
are
that.
questions we will be asking.
Oh wow, that's literally. I did not read that. I didn't read the.
Don't tell people that
don't-
I write stuff for you.
Yeah,
Sorry,
this is all natural.
but it
They're going to
truly
start to
was.
think this is unscripted or scripted.
Scripted. Oh,
Yes.
Oh no!
Oh God.
I'd like to say before we get into things, some announcements about what's coming out this week. This week on Friday on Watcher TV, a brand new episode of Are You Scared?
Oh.
And this one is an absolute banger.
Yes, it's really good.
This is about monsters in the woods, a daring expedition, and it's truly. Ryan and I had a blast with this one.
It's very fun.
It's a great story.
And we've shared this before, but Matt directed the episode.
Yes.
So if you don't like it, you know who to direct your
Why you
anger
gotta
at.
turn around?
True.
It's nasty.
And if you want to
Sorry, we're being nasty.
You can come subscribe to my Twitch and you can say whatever you want.
You know, wait, sorry, can I pause real quick? I do, wait, that's funny.
you.
Good self promo in the middle of that. I do that a lot where I'll say a compliment and then I'll immediately offset it with like a negative comment because I think that they feel uncomfortable with my compliment.
I think you don't have to worry about that.
But I know Matt has expressed in the past, he's like, don't perceive me. So that's why I
Well,
do that. But I'm like,
yeah.
why was I so rude there?
I think last week I sheepishly mentioned, and then I did feel bad about that. So you did detect shame.
No,
You
but
were right to relieve
okay.
my
But
shame.
I need to stop doing that. I need to just let the compliments sit and let them eat it.
Let them eat it. Eat it.
Yeah. Kind of aggressive complimenting.
Okay, the other exciting announcement is this week on YouTube. It's the season finale of this spring season of Ghost Files, the second part of a 2-part episode. And in this episode, we're investigating the Kellogg house here in Los Angeles.
Crispy Creats. Wait, sorry. What
Ryan, what do you have to say about that?
Wait, I'm still confused by what just Steven. What did you just
I don't know.
I was
because
trying
I think
to-
we said Kellogg's.
I
and
was
you
trying to
said
reference the
Krispy
cereal.
You said crispy Creats?
I was going to say that episode's great.
Oh, yeah. It's so
But you
much
said
better.
Crispy Creats.
Damn it.
Yeah, what the hell is it?
Maybe this should be scripted.
Crispy
Ryan being remote today is really throwing everything off. I don't feel none of us are communicating with each other right now.
No, I think it was just me being the problem there.
Did you say Krispy Creats?
What is
You
the
said
what is
crispy Creats.
what am I looking for?
Yeah, I
Rice
think you're-
Krispies?
Rice
Krispy
Krispy treats, but that's also not a cereal. If that's what you're going for, I guess Kellogg also makes non-cereal products.
Yeah,
They make crispy treats, don't they?
Yeah, it's on me.
Anyway,
Raisin Bran.
I think Kellogg makes the Rice Krispie treats, and I can.
They
Google
do,
it.
right? I
can
feel like they
Google it.
do.
they have
I have a whole ass computer here.
the
So I get what you were trying to say, Steven, but then your brain exploded mid-sentence.
Yeah,
And you said
for a very
Crispy
non-sophisticated
they
joke.
they do have a breakfast cereal that's Rice Krispie treats, but it's a little
Rice Krispie treats are made by Kellogg.
yes.
Hey,
But what's the
What's the cereal?
cereal?
Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispies.
but
I used to actually really
They
like
also
those.
have a cereal that's the Rice Krispie treats. It's like little
yes,
chunks
they
of them.
do. They went
Oh.
full circle.
That must be a new thing. I don't know about that.
Rice
Yeah,
Krispie
new
into
as
the
of like
treats,
1998, I guess. Yeah.
Back to the cereal.
I'm not up on new cereals.
Anyway.
A bowl of cereal sounds so fucking good right now, though.
Oh, do you want us to DoorDash
Venmo.
Venmo you?
Yeah, Jesus, man, we are all over the place. But yeah, the Kellogg House. That's part 2 of the 2-part episode that we did over at the Orange County Heritage Museum.
And it's the most beautiful kitchen we've ever investigated.
It was a beautiful,
Not
ornate
kidding.
house.
Gorgeous kitchen.
Good cereal.
You should see this kitchen.
I think I did
It's
see it.
crazy.
Oh, okay.
There's got to be at least like 100 teapots in there. It was amazing.
He's right.
It looked like a teapot museum inside of a normal person's kitchen. There was also the faint outline of a very large penis in the sink. So that was fun too.
That's right. You all mentioned that.
Also ghosts in this house as well. Which is what you're
Also
here
goes-
for.
And cup ball.
Yes, there was the classic children's toy that has a ball attached to a string, which is then attached to a cup.
You ever play
try
that
and get
game?
The cup and the
Yeah,
ball.
it's a fun game.
And Shane was
I played that for
hypnotized.
45 minutes.
He did.
Not even an exaggeration.
He had to distract himself because he was still in the company of 2 ghost hunters, myself and Jordan,
Hey,
aka D2.
I got a joke. At least you caught something on that investigation.
Oh,
hell yeah. I gotta get a clap in here.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah, you should
Got
have a regular clap and a laugh, but then one where the people are really going crazy. Well, that's what's coming up on our things.
Yeah, it's a good time over here.
Check it out. I don't know what to tell you. There's some really fun stuff. Okay.
And it's becoming more increasingly likely that this is the last episode with Steven, possibly.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're shooting a week from now.
For the time being.
Uh-huh.
For the time being, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yep. This is kind of like it's kind of fun. I don't know. You never know what's going to happen next. Well, we know what's going to happen next, but we never know when it's going to happen.
Well, the next time we see you, you're going to be a completely different person. Just the journey of fatherhood.
That's right.
Changed you.
Fatherhood.
It's weird. It's weird to be called a father. I'm not one yet, so. Well,
I
although
mean-
people were saying Happy Father's Day. It was like last week, and I was like, oh, I guess I am a father.
Well, you're a dog father at minimum.
You can't be doing
True.
that.
Yeah, dog father doesn't count. I feel like I am a dog father, but even that I wince at the.
You guys ever say fur baby?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You say fur baby?
Yeah.
Doggo. You say doggo.
All of those. I'm a millennial through and through, my brother. I actually wore my crew socks today, which makes me not be a millennial, but typically I'm
Wait.
wearing those no-show socks.
Yeah,
Wait
the
a second.
ankles.
Is millennials, are they known for no show socks? Because I
Yeah.
wear crew.
Oh, Yeah, me too.
With the way
Oh, is that
It
what
doesn't
millennials
matter
are?
if you're a
'cause I wear-
millennial.
I feel like millennials wear crew socks, like the era when you would wear like shorts and like Van slip-ons and like crew socks. Like long socks. I feel like that's a millennial
but then
thing.
millennials came around to like no-show socks and ankle socks, and then
Oh.
chuggy.
it's
I like a good crew.
I just wear a crew because when I go to work, I'm going to work out after this pod. And I prefer
okay.
wearing crew for that.
Everybody's bragging so much.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a brag. It's just I'm giving you a reason of why I'm so buff.
I'm not going to work out today. I'm not going to work out today at all.
Me
Nice
neither.
brag.
In fact, I thought about working out earlier and I didn't.
I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch Love Island.
Oh,
Nice. I resolved to not work out for the past couple months as well.
That's a good resolution.
Yeah.
Is there a motivation behind that? Was it just time for a change?
No, I just got really lazy and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. And I haven't done it. It feels good.
You're literally doing the opposite. You're actually like in bed for the podcast.
yeah.
How was that bed, by the way?
By the way, you don't seem sick at all.
Yeah.
Ryan's just trying to see how much work he can do from bed.
Well, again, I'm at the tail end of being sick. This was more precautionary than anything. It was bad yesterday. Oh, it was more like getting there yesterday, and then I woke up. I tried to sleep it off, and I feel pretty decent today. But Steven having that baby, not worth chancing it.
Let's see when the slacks come
And you know what? If I'm in bed, I'm not going to be not in my robe.
Hey, everybody, close your eyes and imagine what you'll look like 6 months from now. How's your hair look? Does it look the same? Now I want you to picture that same hair and how it would look if you started using Hims. Now, if you're picturing the same you as before, but with much thicker and fuller hair, well, you'd be correct. Hims provides you with convenient access to a range of hair loss treatments that work all from the comfort of your couch. Hims makes treating hair loss simple with doctor-trusted options and clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil that can regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. I think basically what we're saying here is
Get hair.
That's good. Yeah. Choose from your personalized chewable, oral, spray, and serum treatments to find out what works best for you. The process is simple and 100% online, so there are no uncomfortable doctor visits. All you do is you answer a few questions, and a medical provider will determine if the treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to you for free. There is no insurance needed, and one low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. Hims has hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, and they can help you get your confidence back too with visibly thicker and fuller hair. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/watcher. That's HIMS.com/watcher for your personalized hair loss treatment options. HIMS.com/watcher. Results vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
Watcher.
Good
Get hair.
Ryan, and I'm curious about everybody here, but what do you, what's your self-care when it comes to something like this?
In and out.
Why do you assume that Ryan has any version of self-care?
Yesterday, you were feeling sick yesterday, you said?
No, so yesterday after
Because you were housing
around
in and
like
out.
6 p.m.
Like 1
Yeah.
p.m.
At like
No, it was
3
like
p.m.
4.
I had like in and out, and then around 6 p.m. I started to feel kind of shitty, and then right when I started to go to sleep, I was like, I
have to
better
work
sleep
tomorrow.
a lot. So I downed some NyQuil, and then I woke up and I feel better. Like it's one of those things where I could definitely come in, but at the same time, what's the point of chancing it?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, no, I
if
appreciate it.
Steven didn't have if he wasn't about to squirt out a child, then I probably
Well,
would.
I'll
be.
give- I'll give you
let's
credit.
Be clear. He squirted out a child about 9 months ago.
Ew, now that
Yeah, that is true.
No,
That is true.
Fucking nasty.
Okay, now
That is true.
to be fair, technically it was half a child.
That's right.
It wasn't a full child.
No.
What?
Can you imagine? By the way, By the way, can you imagine a world where you had to imagine a world where you'd have to give birth through your penis?
Let's
What?
think about that.
The fuck?
Well, and this is, my wife has been pregnant for a long time
This is
now.
what you've been thinking for the past 9 months.
And I feel a lot of shame around this. Like, she's doing all
You
this
feel
work.
a lot of shame around. Okay. Oh, but you're white. Okay, I thought
Yeah.
you were talking
You
about
almost-
like the
you
fantasy
almost-
of giving birth through your penis.
You almost
Oh,
wish.
woman.
You almost wish that you could because you feel guilty.
I definitely
that you
don't wish.
have to bear the burden of the physical element of it. Really,
I wish I could make it fair somehow for
Yeah.
her, because it's not fair at all. And but then at the same time, I don't think it's safe, or I don't think it's healthy for men to like not admit that they're not feeling great about certain. Like, you can't just
No, it's
also
yeah.
block it off and just be like the most stoic person for your wife. Like,
Yeah.
you can't do that either.
you got to admit to your wife that you've been thinking about what it would be like if you gave birth through.
Stop saying it.
You know what I fantasize about though? No, okay, fantasize is the wrong word.
I think it is. Yeah.
This might have to only be on Watcher TV, just so we don't get demonetized. But I want to write a sci-fi novel that
Is about men giving birth through the penis.
where the premise of the novel is when men and women have sex, it's a coin. It's a coin.
That's the whole novel right there.
It's
My sci-fi novel is when men and women have sex. I wonder what it's like.
I still don't know, but the premise is that it's a coin flip on who has to carry and give birth to the child.
Oh,
It's like, have you ever seen Junior?
No, is that the premise of that?
Maybe for one of the screaming rooms, we'll watch Junior.
I actually can't wait to watch more of Friday the 13th.
I'm
Oh,
oh,
interesting.
I love to hear that.
We should be watching them like every Friday the 13th, though. Right?
How often
Like,
when are the next
so we'll
ones?
get through it in
There's-
the next 10 years.
There's 3 next year, and there's no more this year.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, interesting.
There's generally, I think, anywhere from like 1 to 5 a year.
Yeah.
5's probably too much.
Well, maybe depending on leap years and stuff. But yeah, and by the way, on that, should we explain what we're talking about right now? Screaming Room at all?
Screaming Room. If you haven't watched it, we sat Steven down for a viewing of Friday the 13th. It was a lot of fun. It was a watch along. We watched the whole movie, posted it on Watcher TV.
Yeah.
You can watch the highlights on the YouTube channel over at Watcher Podcasts.
But yeah, other than that, like, we are going to be making more of
We're
that
gonna do
show.
more.
The response was overwhelming of how much you guys love that
Yeah.
show.
It was really fun. It'll probably look a little bit different because we might shoot it in a different space.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
We're still figuring it out, but basically we hear you guys on that, and I will sacrifice my sanity for all of you out there.
I think
So-
it makes you stronger.
You know what though? This surprised me. I read my Aura Ring tracker afterward, and I go, I am high functioning stress all the time. You guys probably know that, being around me.
No.
No way. But during that movie, my anxiety, stress, physiological stress was actually low. I was in the relaxed state.
Is it because do you think you were sort of like all your other worries sort of disappeared and you're sort of like,
Maybe.
I did notice in watching it back, which I didn't notice when we were actually watching it. You're pretty relaxed for the whole thing.
Oh,
But then
yeah.
in like the third act, I noticed you were just like, you were like fidgeting and like clutching the microphone.
Yeah, it was
This is very
scary.
funny because I didn't think you were that rattled, but you definitely seemed a little on edge.
Well, it was even worse because then I got this false signal that every time Ryan looked at me is when a scary sequence would be happening.
Yeah, I kind of figured that I could kind of
And so he was manipulating me from the left side, and that sucked. So like that whole time when there was nothing happening, I was convinced something was going to happen, which was even scarier.
That's crazy that your little ring can track how stressed and anxious you are. I feel like if that was on me, it would just
break.
fucking explode.
Do you think that during the movie, the ring thought you might have passed?
Yeah.
Because there were
Maybe.
moments where you were just like,
Maybe.
When I was on Velocicoaster with Byron in Florida, a really intense roller coaster, at the very end of it, we noticed that his watch was at like 20 seconds into a 30-second countdown in which it calls the police because it said it thought he was in a car accident.
That's pretty funny. That's a
Which is-
wild coaster. I've only ridden that once. It was with you, and they were mopping up vomit from the
They were.
previous rider, which I was
They
like, oh,
were.
this is going to be a good time.
Damn.
It's kind of crazy that it starts a countdown immediately. I guess if you're in a car accident, you wouldn't be able to call after that. If
Some
it was
cars
really
are
bad.
good. When I got rear-ended a few years ago, my Subaru it was like, you have been in an accident. We are calling the police. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't even
Wait,
know.
is this that accident? The one that when you had the ring inside the
I
back
had
of
the
your car?
engagement ring in the trunk. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my god!
I had to like sift through the broken glass to find it.
While also keeping it hidden from Sarah that
Yeah.
you were doing that.
Yeah. Oh,
Weird.
I had something crazy happen this weekend.
Okay.
I'm hyping it up too much.
Okay.
Too late.
Okay. I was on an airplane. I went to a wedding and it was on the East Coast, and I was I got up to go pee. You know, when you have to pee, you go to the bathroom on the airplane and you go in and you unzip your pants and you pee into the toilet and you close it and you shut it, and you flush it.
The
wash your
details here
hands.
are very exciting. Uh-huh.
You leave. But
Wait, did you run into,
what?
I can't say his name. The guy.
No, I didn't.
Okay,
That'd
okay.
be funny.
It would be very
That'd be
funny.
very funny. No. So anyway, so I'm waiting at the bathroom, and there's a lady who was in there before me. I hear the flush, and she walks out. She's wearing a mask, and she's holding a Tupperware full of strawberries with no lid on it, just wide open to the air.
Mm-hmm.
And I just see her walk past, and I kind of like watch her walk away. And then I went into the bathroom. I did my business. And then on my walk back to my seat, I was like, I got to see if I can see that lady sitting somewhere. And sure enough, I saw her, and she was eating her strawberries.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing, there's the if I didn't hear the flush,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be so concerned about it.
Oh, sure.
What's confusing is I heard a flush, so she definitely went to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
She was wearing a mask, which seems like she would be concerned about germs.
Uh-huh.
But she also walked out holding a Tupperware open, full of fresh, I assume, strawberries.
Interesting.
That just doesn't add up.
Interesting. This wasn't my wife, was it?
And it was Mari. No,
Mari loves strawberries, not
Mari loves
not
strawberries.
like is a weird bathroom freak.
No, she loves strawberries. But the thing is, like, strawberries packed with fiber, right? So maybe she was
Are
trying
they?
to.
Are they
Yeah.
packed with fiber?
I learned that from the Bane Arlnauts video when somebody redubbed Bane's voice in The Dark Knight.
Oh, I love that.
Rises, and he talks about the whole episode, the whole video. Bane talks about the nutritional value of food, and one part he mentions that strawberries are packed with fiber. So I have to assume
very
that's
high
true.
in satiety.
Okay.
They say
So that
they
could
say
perhaps
shit.
coax the bear out of the cave, then, right?
I guess it's maybe.
Do you think she went in there like not ready and was like,
Let's get
I got to bring out the big guns.
that's crazy.
How do you all feel about food and drink
No.
in a restroom?
No.
I have a very funny story about this.
No.
I'd like to hear it.
I don't
And
even,
I just want to say, like, if you're at an airport or something, like, let's say I've got a coffee. Generally, I hope and pray I'm with someone else and I can be like, hey, watch my coffee. I'm going to go to the.
Yeah, that's the
If it
ideal
comes down to
scenario.
it, I will go use the bathroom, and like I might set my coffee, like, on the counter or
It
something.
feels gross, though.
It feels
like,
gross.
well, let me ask you this. 2 follow-up questions from that story.
Great, I
when
love
you went in there, did you see the leafy tops of the strawberries in the trash can?
I saw no evidence of no.
Good question.
That's a great question. I did not see the leafy tops of the strawberries in the.
That's the thing about strawberries. They leave a trace.
They leave a leafy top, unless you eat it.
A leaf trail,
Yeah.
which you could follow and know
Okay,
that she
so
was
that's question
sitting on the
number one.
john eating
I've
strawberries.
given you my answer.
Because I mean, somebody, I can't remember who it was, pointed out that you could use the tank of the toilet as like a table if you were to
If you sat the other way,
sat the other
had
way.
a nice
you
little
know.
picnic,
And she could
set
have a
out a little
strawberry picnic in
charcuterie
there.
board for yourself.
She made herself a charcuterie while she was
no.
pushing out some caca.
What group of words just came out of your mouth?
Or a charcuterie board.
That's way better.
Oh, it's so good.
You know what? Though? I'll get used to this with my baby's gonna about to poop a lot, so I'm cleaning.
The
about to get acquainted
other
with
follow-up
nasty.
question, Shane, is how do you feel about keeping your toothbrush in the
I don't
bathroom?
care about it. I do.
Okay,
I do.
but that you realize that's a similar train of thought, though, because
No,
like some
I know.
people
I think
say
it's-
that when the
I think
toilet
it's
flushes,
other people that I'm concerned about.
but your poop is still bad for you to put in your mouth.
My poop is good for me. No, I know. I don't put poop in my mouth.
But I mean, like if the theory is like that, like particles from the toilet are coming out when you flush it, and that's getting on the toothbrush, that would hold
You know what?
true.
this is a casual
Get scared.
get scared that maybe it would be fun to talk to a germ expert about.
We should talk to a germ, like a bathroom expert.
We've done. They've done this on MythBusters.
Here's the thing: when I flush, I do
You got to close the thing.
close the lid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I closed the thing. I mean, this is also something
This
that happens
ties
to me
back
all
to
the time.
soft germs for me. Soft
much-
germs, you know.
As much
I
as
have
I
been thinking
try
about that a
to avoid it, I often will buy popcorn at the theater, and on the way to walking to my, theater that I'm inside, when you're inside the theater, I will go, oh shit, I gotta go to the bathroom. And then I'm stuck with the popcorn in my hand. And so
just a Ghost Files fan seeing Ryan at the theater. Hey, is that Ryan Bergara? And you just see Ryan talking to himself, going, "Oh shit, I gotta go to the bathroom."
so what I'll do is I'll take the popcorn, and sometimes it feels almost cleaner to leave it just outside the bathroom door on the floor hidden, so that when I come out, I could grab it.
Yeah.
Because
Do you put it
sometimes I
behind,
brought
like-
it in and I put it on like the sink, like away from the urinals.
So you're saying you find something like the Twister's suck tube,
Mm.
and you put
That
it
would be a
behind
perfect receptacle. Actually, no, that would be the worst receptacle
because it gets
then
sucked.
Well, you put it behind it.
You put it behind it.
behind it, sure, but inside of it, it kind of like draws attention to.
So that would
a
be
big-
fun to
Mm.
get up in that suck tube. Do you think?
But
any of those
ideally, I
suck
could hand my
tubes-
popcorn off tomorrow and be like, "You hold this while I go to the head."
Yeah. You
To
think-
the head?
yeah, hit the head. It's a term for bathroom.
My dad
I
says
actually
that.
don't know that term.
It is. I have heard it.
Okay.
Oh.
Head means many things.
It's a boating. It's a boating term, I think, for bathroom.
I see.
Were you going to ask if you could probably get your hands on a suck tube?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're talking about head and
What
suck
they-
tubes right now. So
What'd they do with all those things?
You think they're rewrapping them for like the trolls suck tube?
no way.
Yeah.
No way.
I don't know. All right.
Matt, you had also had a story to tell.
Oh yeah, well, it's kind of in a similar vein. My friend and I were, I can't remember what we were doing. It was just, we were working on some film. Oh, we were doing an auditions for. I was casting for something I was working on in college, and then irrelevant. And we went to the restroom. We had our coffees, and I put my coffee on the floor outside, and he put his coffee on the counter in the bathroom. And he said, "You're a freak for putting that on the floor. That's disgusting. That's the floor where people walk." And I said, "Sure. I'd rather it not break the barrier of the bathroom door."
Fair.
And he
I
said,
agree.
on the counter was better. And I said, "No, I think that's disgusting because you're still in the air. You're still in the
No.
open air.
I'm gonna assume this coffee cup was closed, like had a lid, so very tiny hole for
The tiny
shifting
hole,
into.
yes.
Tiny
But
hole,
still
yes.
better to be outside of the door. I've done that now when I have to leave my popcorn.
Yeah, like you
And-
just said. I would much rather my coffee be behind a suck tube than on
What
the
if a
counter
little
of
boy
bathroom.
spit on your popcorn? I mean, I got no qualms about popcorn. I used to eat leftover popcorn when I
That's
worked at
the
movie
grossest.
theater.
That's still so disgusting, dude.
Wait. I actually did not know this about you. What?
Yeah, when I worked at AMC for my illustrious, I don't know, I think I worked there for like 7 or 8 months. At some point.
Okay. How old were you? This matters, by the way.
Too old.
21
Yeah, were
or
you
22?
34?
21 or 22.
Okay.
Like around college.
Hell yeah.
I
you
was
made movies better.
made movies better. Yeah, I used to, because we had a lot of free time, and they had 30 theaters there, so it was a lot. Like you could
Damn,
go.
30?
Yeah, it
Was it-
was AMC 30 in South Barrington. Shout out.
Wow.
Is that what the 30 stands for?
The number is always
Yeah.
the amount of screens.
The amount of screens.
You never,
Never knew that. That's cool to know.
Now I think it's like the AMC 26 or something. They scaled it to 24. I don't know. They made some of them bigger.
Shout out to the River East 21.
Love
Oh
the
my
River
God.
East 21.
What a theater.
Incredible theater. Beautiful mural.
Yeah.
What did I say? I saw Garden State there. I saw
So
Azkaban
much
there.
trash there.
What a theater. What a theater. I used to go into the theaters, and if they were empty or, people would leave, and I'd be like, well, I'm 4 hours into my shift. It's 2 p.m. Time to eat some popcorn.
Uh-huh.
And I'd just go find some, half-eaten bags of popcorn, and I'd just start chowing
From
down.
the trash can?
Which I guess it didn't even
No,
make a
from
lot.
like the seats.
Didn't
of
even
people.
necessarily make sense because we could get free popcorn.
That's what I was going to ask.
But if
Yeah.
you weren't working concessions, which sometimes I was, other times you were on, cleanup duty or usher duty, you're not going over there. You're not eating popcorn. Maybe that's the thing is like when you're working concessions, you can have whatever you want, or at least that's what we did. So they've trained you to be like, well, I go to work, I eat popcorn all day.
Okay.
Well, what? Now I got to usher? You're going to tell me I can't eat? You tell me I can't eat popcorn? That was a job that I also, I didn't really know how to quit. So I didn't know who my manager was. There were so many people working there.
You just don't show up again. That's
And
what
I
you do.
told who I thought was my manager, I was like, hey, I got another job doing corporate video. And I'm going to be wrapping it up here in 2 weeks. This is my 2-week notice.
Good.
And they were like, great. And then 2 weeks later, someone was like, hey, we'll see you next week. And I was like, no, I'm done. And they were like, we weren't aware of that. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going. Goodbye. Yeah.
Okay.
I loved it.
Eating popcorn out of half-eaten bags, even coffee cups. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not that opposed actually.
Are
to any
you
of
out
this.
of your mind?
They're dry goods. They're dry goods.
Dude,
Not once people's hands go in them.
yeah, people are putting
They're
their
wet.
hands in that popcorn, rustling around, and also some people I've seen people eat popcorn. They're like they put their fingers in their mouth,
Yeah, big time.
and then they put it back into the popcorn. So it's just like
Yeah. You could,
marinating their popcorn in their spit.
definitely a risk.
I don't know. What are you going to do?
But not eat popcorn from the trash.
No, I mean, I don't do that anymore.
hey, we
Don't
call
anymore.
him our sustainable king over here, just recycling.
I'm trying to think of like the
Half-eaten.
most disgusting thing I've done in the past decade.
I don't think we need to. Maybe,
no,
maybe
we
that's
do.
another episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, chime off in the comments about a disgusting thing that you do.
Yeah.
Give us a call and leave the story.
Oh, that's
there we
fun.
go. There we
Yeah.
go.
Things that like other people might find disgusting, but you're like, it doesn't matter.
Something
to me.
you defend.
And if you ask, if you request, we
But I
can
don't
make your
even-
voice be like the Dateline NBC monster
Yeah.
voice,
give
so
it-
that we,
we could do it. If you want us to modulate it, we can.
Yeah.
you have to request it though.
Yeah.
Requested modulation.
Please modulate.
And we will do it.
Hashtag modulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't really hashtag
Well,
on
it'll
a
be an
voicemail.
audio call, but
Well,
Oh yeah, it's a video audio call. I guess you have to say it out loud. Hashtag modulated. I just want to hear somebody in that voice go hashtag modulated.
Say it at the end.
and that number is
818-275-4585. That's 81 you ask I Luke.
should we be putting that like in the channel description or something?
You think it's not in the description?
Oh wow, I see people ask it all the time on social media. I'm like,
I did see people going, hey, the story last week's episode. Oh, the story starts here. The story starts here. I put the chapters in. I go through painstaking efforts to put the chapters
do the
in.
chapters.
bruh.
Bruh.
Did we have some comments we wanted to
We
look at? in
did.
the
Speaking
last-
of last week's episode,
it's nice to look at comments.
every time you do
now
that, it sounds like a dog shaking its ears. Here we go. This one was the top comment. This was a heater.
Okay.
This is from Carlisle VK. If Ryan doesn't want to go back to the island of the dolls, how about Shane goes back for a Ghost Files Alone special? Evil smiley face. Just him and the Spoods, which I believe is spiders.
It's a lot of spiders. I think if I go there now expecting the spiders, it's a different story.
Would you do it alone?
I would, but I don't know that there would be a lot of value to that.
Suffering.
I guess, but I don't really want to ghost hunt there. I'd spend the night there.
Uh-oh, he said it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Weird.
I think
Wonderful
he would.
World at-
I agree. Like, I think it's a matter of calling your bluff or not. I don't think you're bluffing, though. I think you would do it, but I agree that the video wouldn't be that interesting.
No.
I think you need Ryan there to really actually earnestly ghost hunt.
To be fair, though, you were the most fuck it, I want to get out of here that you've ever been.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of spiders. There's a whole lot of spiders.
Yeah. We were pretty fed up with it by the end of that.
I did see someone had mentioned, and I don't know where the comment is, that you and I should go there and do a bug show.
Oh,
That's true. You could do that.
That would
Yeah.
be cool
Yeah.
to take a spider expert.
Yeah. Also, very budget conscious.
Yeah.
Something that'll easily sweep 13,000 views.
Or you guys could just call in that spider lady that you had at BuzzFeed.
Yeah. We thought I would like to revisit that on a future episode.
That'd be a fun thing to rewatch. That is specifically because it was like a Face Your Fears episode.
Yeah. It was very fun. There was an old video where I challenged the notion of the statistic that spiders crawl into your mouth when you sleep by putting spiders on my face. And none of them went in. But it was fun to have spiders crawling on your face. But I do sweat quite a bit in that video. If you want to see me sweat, that's the one.
We had also noted last week's episode that you are the only member of the Unsolved crew to be named in the Wikipedia for the Island of the Dolls.
Did someone amend that?
No, but we do have some more information on it.
Okay.
Oh, let's see it.
Some people think that the dolls, or the spirits that inhabit them, might have killed Julian.
Sure. If that's what it's going to take to get us out of here, then yes, I believe in all of this. Put it on Wikipedia and let's leave.
Ah! I didn't realize I actually said that.
Someone had pointed out the reason why the Shane's quote appears on the Wikipedia page is because in the original BuzzFeed video, towards the end of the segment, he says, "Yes, I believe in all of this. Put it on the Wikipedia. Let's leave." And someone did that.
That's incredible.
That's so funny. I love that.
Very fun.
And then a number of comments about congratulating Steven.
Papa Lim.
Thank
and
you.
giving him best
Thank you.
wishes.
Papa.
It'll be soon. It'll be
Indeed.
soon.
Okay, so now we're going to take a phone call. We're going to talk a little bit about ghost pets. Now, obviously, that will include some conversation about pets passing. We're going to do our best to not to be like super bogged down in the emotionality of it, but
Mhm.
we'll have a little fun. But I'm just forewarning, content warning.
Yeah.
We will talk about animals that have passed on, and I really tried not to pull stories that were going to make us really sad.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So
Appreciate the warning.
Yeah. So here's a call from Brooke.
Hi, my name's Brooke. My sweet, lovely dog passed away last week, and I'd say more of a Shaniac than a Boogara, though I do love, the idea of ghosts. Since she's passed, I feel like in my apartment I have seen her multiple times. I feel like I've heard her. I work in vet med, so I'm like, I know people say this all the time when their pet passed. And I've always kind of chalked it up to grieving and like your mind playing tricks on you. But I am like so sure that I've seen her a few times that I'm like, is she still there? And I would love to hear your ideas on ghost dogs and if you think that they are kind of hanging around with us after they pass. Please let me know your thoughts. It would be very nice for me and my sweet dog Luna to kind of know your thoughts on it. Thanks so much.
Well, sorry to hear that, Brooke. Luna sounds lovely.
Yeah. Do dogs? Speaking of dog,
Vinny.
Did Vinny show up there?
Yeah, he did. He's
Yeah.
sitting next to me.
It looked more like speaking of hog once you looked at it, because Vinny wasn't in the frame and he had tilted his camera down.
okay.
I learned this from watching you.
Speaking of hog.
Why?
Now you really like that one. He's gonna.
Dude, it would just be a crazy thing to do to say, speaking of hog, tilt my camera.
Okay, so we're talking about Brooke's sweet deceased dog.
Sorry.
But okay, so the question is, do you all believe that pets can become ghosts? Now, keep that in your mind, and we're gonna listen to another call from Percy, who also works in the vet industry.
Like a lightning thief.
Hi, my name's Percy. I work as a vet technician, and today we had to put down our hospital cat.
Oh.
We think the hospital is haunted by prior hospital cats, however, and I was kind of wondering, what are your guys' thoughts on animal hauntings? I think you've been over like the goat man kind of haunting, but was just curious, do you guys believe in like cat and dog spirits? I think there was one of the ghost haunting videos that had, one of the cat spirits in it. Actually, I recall very famously some like cat ears. Right. Anyways,
Yes.
curious. That was my cat Sunshine. She said hi. Okay, bye.
Yeah,
Thanks.
he's
Like watching the podcast.
Percy's referring to the Conjuring episode in which we donned cat ears because there was a ghost dog there to try and attract the dog or get a response.
The
out
dog's
of the
prey
dog.
drive.
Very serious ghost hunting stuff.
What is the
That's a
Goat Man
very-
thing? Can you explain the Goat Man reference?
Goat Man was some sort of demon down in Texas. Who
But was it an
owned a
animal?
bridge. No, it was a demon.
Okay.
No, but people were cutting cats' heads off and then
Right.
posting them on trees
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
because there was cultists around there apparently,
Damn.
as the story goes.
The
Now I've never had a cat or a dog before Obi, so I don't really have anything to weigh in on here. I have had no experience with this. Obviously, I don't believe in ghosts.
Yes.
So that's sort of where I'm coming from, square one. I will say, by the way, we're coming up almost on a year since Obi's diagnosis, and he is doing great.
Woo!
And every day
amazing.
I go home and I rub his little belly.
This is the best ad for steroids.
They're doing him. They're doing him right.
I also want to just get ahead of that and say I did message Shane privately, say, hey, is it okay if we talk about this for this episode?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be insensitive.
And I said,
So don't say this is fucked.
I don't give a fuck.
We did say that.
Obviously, I will. As I said, I will be sad when Obi goes. I just feel so grateful to have spent this much time with him
Yeah.
now, knowing
Yeah.
that he's got cancer, and that eventually he'll have to punch his ticket, as it were. But
What if he lives
that's what
forever
I was-
now?
I don't know. He's young. He's doing great. I will say that even with Obi alive, there are moments where I will hear something or sort of see something out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, "Oh, is that Obi? Oh, no, it's not. He's in the other room." And I do wonder if a lot of that is just your brain is so trained when you have a pet that lives with you
Yeah,
to like constantly be like, "Where's that little guy? Where's that little guy going?"
100%.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to say that in a way where, because this is always the fine line that we walk with ghost hunts, is like ghosts to a lot of people are a comfort. Spirits, ghosts, the presence of maybe a loved one you've lost, that can mean a lot to people. So that does butt heads a little bit with me being like, well, unfortunately, I don't personally believe in them. But people have experienced things where they do think they've had these experiences, and I'm like, well, who am I to say, it's when people come to me and are like, well, you gotta admit Ryan's belt got tugged, and I'm like, no, I don't have to admit that.
I mean, you do have to admit that. Though.
No, I don't. So Steven, you had your sweet Simba,
Yes.
a beautiful boy. Ryan, I know you had dogs pass away, what, like 5 years ago or so?
Something like that. Yeah.
Matt, have you ever had a dog or cat that,
Yes.
you had some dogs growing up,
Yeah, I
right?
had a lot of dogs growing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Many of them passed.
I'm more curious about your guys' experience with this, and if you've ever felt like the presence of them, or because like I'm sure once Obi goes, I'm still gonna like have that thing in the middle of the night where I'm like, oh, is that Obi on the bed?
Mhm.
And I'll be
Like
probably
that dog Bo.
I'm sure I'll. No, we don't have to bring that.
Yeah.
Up. But so yeah, I don't know. Take it away. What do you got?
I mean,
What the?
Okay.
so much to say here. Where do I even start? Well, first of all, I hear a lot about like parents who have have babies and they'll hear phantom cries. That's like a thing that when you're so used to
Like
taking care
Max
of
Payne.
somebody else, you're
Like Max Payne.
what is Max Payne?
Video game.
All my Max Payne heads all know.
Okay. Yeah, he'll hear phantom cries, or like you'll hear whining or whatever. That you'll think it's like your baby, but it's actually just like your brain playing tricks on you.
Tea kettle or
It's something that you're so like it
Just so
you have
used
to pay
to.
attention to every single
Yeah.
instance of
Yeah,
it.
exactly. So like if you're But then also, I was thinking about this too as you were speaking. Do you believe in vibes, like energy?
You can certainly tell when they're off.
Yeah, you can tell when they're off, but I think that's just like your brain subconsciously processing things that you might not be aware. You know, it's not like top level processing. It's kind of subsurface,
see.
like, you know.
Well, you can walk into a room and you can feel the energy of a room. And I wonder if there would ever be a camera that could like measure the energy of a room, like just the palpable feeling it is to walk into an awkward room or like that
You should
kind of thing.
construct a giant aura ring. Maybe you could put it on someone's waist.
But that's just capturing the heart rate.
It's capturing a lot of things, but yeah, heart rate,
Wasn't sure how it
variability,
worked.
temperature, all that stuff.
Does your aura ring tell you, Stephen, when you're aroused?
Well, where do you wear the ring?
Let me check.
Yeah, that's the point. That's
Yes,
good.
dude.
That's
Now
real good.
I gotta get a fucking
You
clapping.
got a Kravitz style.
Yeah,
Well-
dude, you got that Lenny ring down there, dude.
We're talking about deceased pets.
Yes.
So, Steven, when Simba passed, sweet Simba, lovely
It was
cat.
an energy.
How old was Simba, by the way? Pretty young, right?
He was almost a decade.
That's pretty young for a cat.
Yeah, pretty young.
Oh, is that you? How old do cats live to?
Oh, you know what?
30?
Sorry.
Is that young for a cat?
I think he had just passed a decade. They can live like up to, 15, 20 years.
15, 20. I mean,
Damn.
20 might be kind of long.
Especially
Though I've
for sure.
I've had a friend who had a cat for like 18 to 20 years.
Yeah.
But that's tough.
There was a cold energy in my house the month or two afterward, and I wonder if there was any sort of technology that you could like a spirit cam of sorts that could like.
But did you find
measure-
did you find yourself like sort of looking for him or like thinking you heard him out of the corner? You know?
Yes, yeah, for sure. Actually, I did experience that where like I'd hear a noise that I would think it'd be him, and then but oh yeah, wait, no, he's not around. So I don't know. It's definitely the mind. It can't be a ghost, but I do think the energy was very different in my house, and I can't explain that. And I do believe in energy.
I think if there's one less life force in the home, I definitely think that's something that people could pick up, right?
Mm-hmm. People can pick up,
Yeah.
but like can cameras or technology,
right,
you know?
I mean, like when my dog is at like the vet for some reason, or like the groomers, when it's like
For some reason, not because you brought him there.
yeah.
her. Sorry.
Well, sometimes she likes to go there to hang out.
Okay.
She goes, "I'm going to the vet."
Yeah, she's for some reason at the barber. Okay.
It's not far, but for whatever reason, when the dog is not in the house, that's irregular. So I feel like that I could feel that physically while my dog is alive, and go, "Oh, I would love to look at anything as a sign that my dog is still there." You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
For sure. Yeah.
Everybody's looking at me
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
No.
No, I was
Just processing
curious.
the depth of what you're saying.
Do you guys say hi to your pet every time you see them?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
I actually don't, but that's not because I don't love my pets.
You've got 3 dogs. That's too much.
It's actually because I don't want to
say
train
hello.
them to get excited to see me every time.
Yeah.
That's smart.
So I actually like will just chill for a bit. They'll come in, and I'll say hi once they're calm.
Why don't you chill your ass out?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Don't jump on me.
Ryan, any experiences with dog death?
Yeah, I mean,
That's for the trailer.
it's obviously not a great thing to go through. So like your mind can twist things. But I mean, I've talked before about how dogs, animals in particular, have a keen sense of danger coming. Like if there's like a natural disaster happening, or oftentimes people think dogs can see ghosts because sometimes they'll just stare at the ceiling for no reason or stare at a certain empty spot. So I think because they have that almost preternatural aptitude, it would make sense that maybe they could then linger after the fact. I don't know. Anytime anyone asks me, could this be a ghost? Can that be a ghost? I never have really any answer because it's just like, I don't know why ghosts exist. I just know that they do, but I can't.
You know
say-
that they do?
I do.
What about ghost pets?
I have no idea. I mean, we've been to a lot of places where they say that there are ghost dogs, like Whaley House, the Missouri State Penitentiary. There was supposed to be a ghost dog there. That might have been something else. Even Sorrel Weed. There's a lot of places we've been to where they're like, okay, this has a a dog or a ghost cat. Like even Mag Farmhouse, the place we just went to, supposedly had some sort of ghost dog there that Jordan Detune caught on his own personal investigation, nudging up against his leg. So, but we personally, other than maybe that footage from Missouri State Penitentiary, which might be a ghost dog, I don't think we've ever really definitively caught proof of a ghost pet.
Was the Sorrel weed dog just like a dog barking?
It was
or was
a dog.
Was it
was
like
just-
a lore of a ghost?
But it was a
No,
real
it was just
dog.
a dog. It was just a real dog.
We know
Okay,
it was a
okay.
real dog.
I mean, every place I could think of where there was a supposed ghost dog, we've not seen it. Even Waverly Hills Sanatorium, there was supposed to be a ghost dog by the elevator shaft, and we never saw that dog.
Huh.
So I don't know. I mean, from that standpoint, I can't say that I've physically seen it with my own eyes. I could see why it might be a thing, though. Like, I don't know. Maybe I've always thought that like something that has a soul could be a ghost, but
That's the thing. Now, when I was a child, and this is a very real story. When I was a child, I asked my grandma, who's very religious, do dogs?
Your Meemaw?
My Nana.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like to hear people's names
Everybody's
for their
name, yeah.
grandma.
My Nana. I said, Nana, did dogs go to heaven when they die? And she said, no, dogs don't have souls.
Oh my
my mom
God.
said the same thing actually. So it's very relatable.
Yeah, it was
They're
pretty,
mongrels.
it was pretty hardcore.
I think dogs have a soul.
Southern Baptist upbringing.
I love
You
it.
look into a dog's eyes, you could tell there's something behind his eyes. When I look
Yeah.
at the pee-pee man's eyes, I could tell
Viscera.
he's thinking, he's scheming.
He's scheming, plotting.
Do you think your dog loves you, Matt?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
Or do you think do you think Willow just likes you because you feed her and house her?
I
Like,
think
if she-
dogs are capable of love, and sometimes in a way stronger than humans.
I think this has
Damn.
been the study of actual scientific studies of like, our dogs, do they have the capacity to love? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty unproven.
Okay.
A lot of it is just like,
Well, how do you even quantify
Well, why don't you
human love?
ask Vinny right now? What does he say?
Yeah.
Vinny, what do you think? He just jumped off the bed.
That's
And
a
he's
no.
leaving the room. I'm not kidding. He just left the room.
This sucks.
Okay, let's watch a video real quick, and then I want to take some quick calls. So this is actually a pretty compelling video of a ghost cat.
I had a cat for close to 13, 14 years. And when I had lived in the other house, I used to let the cat out at night, and the cat would come back during the day. But when I moved into the hotel, the cat refused to go out. And I couldn't get the cat to come into my apartment. For some reason, the cat wouldn't come into that room. And the minute I bring it into the room, she'd take right out the door. So I started feeding her outside in the hallway. And she would roam the building. Then after a while, she started going up to the 3rd floor. And she would come down to the 2nd floor, she would eat, and she'd go back up to the 3rd floor. Then after a couple of months, she refused to come down off the 3rd floor. And she would stay in Claire's room. And we picked up an EVP one night of Claire saying that it was her cat.
Isn't that just a photo of the cat or a video of the cat?
Hard to tell. So that was, I mean, that's some pretty, look. As far as footage of ghosts go, probably one of the most interesting pieces of footage.
Oh, I
good.
definitely would be losing my mind if I caught that. That's awesome.
I do think that looks like a really fun place to investigate.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I
That
want to go
hallway
investigate
shot,
that
I was
place.
like, yeah.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
I
It
like
looks
the
a very
vibe.
creepy thing.
Pretty good footage. It really does look like.
It looks like a
cat.
cat.
So is this after the cat passed or what? I'm confused.
Yes, I, think
believe
so.
yes.
It's in Napanoch, New York.
Whoa, what a name.
Here's my
Napanoch?
take on that video. It might just be a different cat.
I do think it might be a different cat.
You think that
But I mean, it looks translucent, though.
I think so.
It doesn't look like an actual cat, though. It looks like one leg.
I mean, it's a very low quality video. No, to me, it looked like the tail being up.
Right. Then that's, I think, that's what I think makes it, that's for sure
No, I can
a
see.
cat.
Yeah, I can. The fur, the normal fur coat just kind of blends in, but the tail kind of sticks out because
Yeah,
it's
that's
bottom.
right.
Look, it's white in the bottom. See, Shane's mentioned this before, but as I'm watching more of these videos, why are they all caught on low res
Well,
cameras?
this was 2013. This was surveillance footage in
This is
2013.
like
Yeah,
12,
fair
over 12
enough.
years ago.
Fair enough.
And the better technology gets, the less ghosts you're going to see.
Until we get the energy spirit.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Of course. Shane.
Yeah.
Steven's magical ring.
Until Steven removes his aura ring from down below and we could use that somewhere else.
Shares it with the world.
So, I mean,
Make sure you wash that thing, by the way.
Squad Watcher, Scaredy Cats, Dirty Worms, share your stories. Share your stories of ghost pets. It's a question. I think that there's a different question of like, can pets perceive ghosts? That's a much different question that I think has a different set of answers.
Yes.
Yes.
But and we can't get into that now. But so what's the kind of, what are our feelings on can ghosts be pets or can pets be ghosts?
Can ghosts be pets is interesting.
That's a different question.
No, I don't think they
it's
can.
a weekly show. We can do an episode.
I don't think they can personally, but that's not me saying if you are comforted by the thought of your little ghost cat being there for you when you need them, then, you know, believe that. Believe that. You don't need me to tell you what you believe. There you
Wow,
go.
you're getting soft these days.
Well, you know, we could all use a little compassion
Fair
in
enough.
2025.
Fair enough. No, it's just funny. There was I remember an episode where you were like telling everybody to suck it and, you know, they were wrong.
Well, it's a
and
little
all-
different when we're here on Get Scared, where we can hang out and chat and we hear from people and it's nice stories. But then when we shoot Ghost Files, where it's like the core conversation is, are ghosts real?
Right,
Then
okay.
people are like, what do you think about that, Shane? And I'm like, I don't know. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's ghost pets. That's our little conversation about ghost pets. Let's get into just some quick mail. This is a call from Austin.
Hey guys, my name is Austin. I'm from Texas, and I was just thinking about how you have Shane as Shaniac and the Boogaras for Brian Bergara, obviously, but you guys don't really have anything for Stephen Lim, and I was thinking that I know you guys have the whole, like, what do you call it, the butt splitters or the fence riders, the ones that are in between, but with Stephen, I seem to think that he is kind of in between with some of your guys' opinions, so, like, he'll get scared about stuff, but he will also try to logically say, well, it's this and this, so I wouldn't necessarily say that that's something scary. Also, I'm sorry if you hear anything in the background. I'm at work currently.
Sounds
But
great.
I was thinking of a name, something like Limbros, kind of like the playoff of Limbo and
Limbro.
Bros. So Limbro. I don't know. Just tell me what you guys think. Bye.
Thank you so much, Austin. Yeah, so Austin positing what would be the Lim version of Shaniac Boogara and suggesting Limbros, L-I-M.
Yeah, you know what I like about that actually is that I am somebody who knows that I don't know everything, and I'm not on one side. I'm not even fence splitting. I want to hear both sides. So yeah, I'm kind of in that world, and I why don't just call us limbos, like himbos?
Oh.
but limbos.
I didn't even think about limbo being in the middle.
Yeah, in the middle.
Yeah, it's in the middle.
Yeah,
I was thinking, why would you
In
choose-
limbo. But bro is obviously more of a, you know,
bros.
limbros.
But hey,
Yeah, but that
I'm
excludes-
inclusive here.
Thank you.
We don't all have to be bros. Be whatever we want.
Limbos is fine. I like Limbros too.
Yeah.
I can see it. That's definitely better than cheek splitters.
It's better than a lot of the things we've had.
I do like Malcolm's. Malcolm's in
Malcolm's
the
is
middle.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's all too much to explain, you know?
I kind of am also in this niche category of people who like,
We add 3 of these every year.
but for me specifically, I'm the kind of person who's like, I don't even want to mess with it and find out. Like, don't fuck around and find out is my mentality, you know?
Oh, okay.
Mm.
So that's the kind of person I am. I'm happy to watch you guys do that, but
Hmm.
I probably won't be joining you on a ghost.
You're a spooktator.
Oh, that's really good.
Oh, that is really good.
That's pretty
That's
good.
really good.
Thanks.
Can we do something with like an even Steven key?
I thought he was going to go
Oh.
even Steven route.
Yeah.
Also very.
I was
Yeah.
expecting even Stevens.
Even Steven is definitely more self-explanatory than Limbos.
Limbro, look, they're all good. We'll see what sticks.
Yeah, whatever
you know?
sticks.
Yeah, see,
You let us
chime off
know.
in the comments which one you like. If
Austin,
you have
thank
like,
you so much
Austin,
for
we
starting the
appreciate you
conversation.
for getting a conversation that needs to happen happening. And we appreciate you listening and sending in a nice little message for us.
And just because I'm very curious, Matt, where are you? You're a Shaniac in this?
Oh, I think I'm more of an even Steven.
Oh.
No, I'm a Shaniac, unfortunately, but I wish to be a Bergara. I wish, or Boogara.
You want to be Ryan's brother?
I've been
I wish to
drafting
be
up
a
adoption
Bergara.
papers for Mari and Ryan to adopt me.
Mommy, daddy. That's what you say to
It
them.
seems like it's parties every night.
Boo. And you'd be coming in the morning too.
Hey,
at a higher octave. Trying to sound like my dad.
Ryan could beat me to becoming a papa. If you really want.
True, yeah.
You could do it next week.
Let's
here.
draw them papers up. No, I have all of the whimsy and hope of a Boogara, but all of the cynicism of
Yeah.
a Shaniac.
Well, it's funny because like even when you pull up the segment of like the ghost cat, you're like excited to share it with us, but then I can see in your eyes you're just like, oh wow, this is.
Well,
isn't a
I
ghost.
think it's fun to think about. I do think it's fun to think about.
It's fun to think about.
I would love for Ryan to find evidence that Shane goes.
We all would.
We really all would. But I like the conversation. I like facilitating the conversation. Okay, let's get out of here with a fun wrap up email. And I think one of you should read this.
I'll read it. Okay, here we go.
This is from Kate.
This is from Kate. Kate says, "Get ready to get scared because I have a crazy frog horror story."
Heck yeah.
Ooh,
For those of you who don't remember, we were discussing Crazy Frog a few episodes ago. And he's
last episode.
Last episode at
Wait,
length.
was it last episode?
Oh wait, sorry, no. 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago, I think. My roommate and I were watching a show one night, and there was a character that I told her looked like Crazy Frog. She, seemingly uncultured, didn't know what I was talking about. I show her multiple videos and images. That was already horrifying because she was not entertained in the slightest. But the real horror was yet to come. Flash forward to a few days later, and I am due to give a presentation at work. The CEO of the company happened to be in town when I was due to give this presentation, so he decided to sit in. I'm usually incredibly socially awkward,
Love it.
but somehow in the presentation, I was charming as hell, and the CEO was loving it.
Been there.
I was really feeling myself, so I decided to, in the moment, incorporate a phone screen sharing
Oh no!
Oh, this is kind of what I figured was
Oh
coming.
element.
no!
This was a grave mistake.
See now this is called pulling a limb right here. Okay,
Yeah.
we can just go with that.
I opened up my browser, naively thinking that I had a blank tab open, but oh, was I wrong. Suddenly, Crazy Frog starts blasting over the speakers, his stupid little frog ass hopping around the screen.
And his little peepee.
Yes.
Nearly blacking out in fear, I attempted to close out the video. Much to my horror, I realized that I have about 10 tabs of Crazy Frog content open that I painfully, slowly try to close out of. No one at my work speaks about this incident. The mockery would be better. It is just a looming shadow over me. The only thing that lets me sleep at night is that there were no tabs highlighting his stupid little frog dong.
You're
It's pretty
absolutely
awesome.
right about the mockery because I was at a shoot with Andrew last week, and for some reason he grabbed those waters that are in the center of the table that you share with people.
Yeah, a
For some-
carafe.
Yeah, what is it called?
A carafe?
A carafe of sorts. He for some reason grabbed the carafe and started drinking out of it because he was thirsty.
Oh my God.
Not
That's a
realizing,
power move.
Not realizing it was a shared bottle.
That's rough.
And
my
it was
God.
it was when the restaurant was closed and the owners were there. And then one of them came over and saw him doing this. And he didn't realize his mistake until later. And I was just like, dude, do you need a cup of water? And then the owner was like, are you thirsty? Do you want me to bring you a bottle of water? And so later on he felt so ashamed, but I mocked him incessantly to the point where he felt better about it. So
Yeah.
it does help to get mocked later.
If I were the owner of the restaurant, I'd bring out a carafe for each one of you.
That'd be really good.
That'd be really kind.
Just as like a passive aggressive way to.
No, I think it would,
that's
make
funny.
people feel better. That is such a funny thing to do.
It is, and Andrew's like the most he does not do anything that he's
He's
very
cool as hell.
Yeah.
yeah. So it was very fun. It was fun to see somebody else blunder to that amount.
Is it going to be in an episode?
Oh, definitely not.
Okay.
Is it on
Yeah.
camera?
Nope, it was after the shoot. We were wrapping up, and he just grabbed it and just started chugging.
I do really like in this story the fact that there was one tab and then just closing them out. It's like, bing, dong, ding, dong, bong, dong, dong.
Yeah, dude. We've all been in that situation where you can't figure out where noise is coming from and which tab it is, so that there's 10 is so much chaos. I mean, I've seen a version of this where, like, I remember I was in college and some dude opened his laptop and he was like watching porn the night before, and it just comes screaming out of the laptop, and he just quickly shut it.
Was he giving a presentation, or he was just like?
No, it was just one of those things where, like, all right, everyone get out their laptops and take notes, and then he just opened it up, and it was just immediate like sex noises, and then just closed it. He slammed it so hard that like the shut of the laptop, everyone looked over to his desk.
Pretty funny.
Oh my god, that reminds me of in like high school.
All right, okay.
I had a presentation at school about the moon landing, and then I put a video up, like a YouTube video up or something. I don't know if it was YouTube or a different site, but
I wouldn't have been high school.
I didn't even watch the video, but I played it. I just played it as like a reference, and then in the video, it was like a joke, but the VO was like, "We landed on the fucking moon, everybody!" And this was playing in my like high school, and I was mortified. Watch your videos before you share them. That's the lesson learned.
That's true.
I love it.
Damn, crazy frog though.
Very good.
Well, thank you, Kate. I'm very happy to hear that.
I'm sorry that happened to you, but I'm also happy that happened to you.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
And thank you for sharing. I really like ending the episode with, because we did it last week with the ET pissing.
Yeah, send us.
I like ending it with like a fun little like, hey, we're all humans.
If you've got a story about something that was mortifying or scary to you in a fun way, that is related to something we've talked about, send those in. It's fun to wrap up with those. Well, that's gonna do it for us here at Get Scared. Join us next week. Is next week the VidCon episode?
That will depend on VidCon.
That will depend on VidCon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's going to do it then. Thanks for listening. If you haven't, subscribe on your podcast app of choice. Rate us on your podcast app of choice. And I think that's it.
That's it. Thanks for
leave us
being
a
here.
review as well. Those all help.
Comment, all that. All that stuff. It does really help us a lot. So we appreciate it when you all do that.
We do. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.